guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you how to paint a terracotta pot. Right guys, so I am painting some terracotta pots up for Christmas presents this year. My video 2 weeks ago I showed you some plant separations that I did, which I'm going to be giving away as gifts, and I really wanted to do some sort of homemade pot to sort of go with it, so I thought that painting up some terracotta pots would be a really nice idea, and I thought I'd film for you guys today just to show you how to do it, show you the best way so that you don't get leakage from water and things like that. So there's just a few things you're going to need for this, guys, and the first thing is a terracotta pot. So this one I just got from my garden centre. It cost me 50p. Depending on what size you want, obviously the price varies, but they are quite cheap and you can get them from most garden centres. This one was from the outdoor section, and it does have a hole at the bottom, so I am going to be planting a plant directly into this pot, but you can also just use them as cover pots. It doesn't really matter if your terracotta pot has a hole in the bottom or not. If you're just using it as a cover pot. So if you're going to pot a plant inside this within a plastic nursery pot, then you can just have one without a hole. Or if you do have a hole there, just remember that there is a hole and maybe pop a saucer underneath or whatever you fancy, really. The next thing you are going to need today is some paint. So I would stick with acrylic paint for this one. I have some acrylic paint here. It's just the Chilton's Arts acrylic paint that I actually got off Amazon. I will pop the links down below for you. And I've just got a black and a white here, so I've mixed these two together to make a nice grey colour, which will just fit with my decor quite well in my living room. The next thing you are going to need is some acrylic paint. So I just have a black and a white acrylic paint here. There are some other colours in the background here. However, today I'm just using this black and white one to make a nice grey colour that I have just pre-mixed here ready. It'll just go with my decor quite well because this one is going to stay with me. However, when I do paint up my other pots that are going to be for gifts, they will be different colours depending on who I'm giving it to, and depending what I think they'll sort of prefer and what fits with their decor the best. Third thing you are going to need today is a protective sealant. So this is called Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear Protective Coat. So this just says it seals, protects and enhances. So this is just a sort of coater to protect this from leakage. So with a terracotta pot, if you just paint it and then obviously as you're adding water to your plant, it's going to seep into the terracotta and then it will make the paint either bubble or run or whatever, depending on what sort of paint you've used. So it is really important to make sure you're using a good sealant. So I will show you the application of this today as well. This is just a gloss, a clear gloss finish, because I wanted it to have a little bit of a shiny finish, but you can also get matte ones and things like that. I will also pop the link for this down below because I did get that from Amazon as well. And the next thing is just a paintbrush and something to pop a bit of paint in. You can use, like I said, any type of paints with this. So you can use like wall paints that you use to paint your walls with, or anything really, as long as it's an acrylic based. So let's get started. So I'm just going to do a first coat. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to pop my hand inside this pot and then just paint a coat on. Now I don't want to make this too thick to start off with, because you will need to do more than one coat. Obviously orange is quite a vibrant colour, so it does show through quite a bit, so you do need to just make sure that you you get really good coverage of that pot. Right then guys, so that's the outside layer done. Now you do need to leave that to dry for quite a while, especially with this paint. I find that it does take ages to dry, so I'm just going to leave that to sit until it's dry, and then I will be back to add some additional coats. I am also going to paint the inside of this, as it just doesn't look great if you leave it undone, because if your plant sort of sits around the edge, you are going to see the orange top here. So I am just going to paint all the way through, and it just helps then when you seal it as well from the inside as well as the outside. Right then guys, so the first coat is pretty much dry, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint the inside here. So it's just really important to make sure you get right around the top edge here. Like we said before, you don't want a big line or anything or any of the orange showing through, so just get right the way around. The good thing about acrylic paint is it does tend to smooth out as it dries, so you don't need to worry too much about streak marks or brush marks, sorry, should I say. If you get any drips or anything though, I would clean those up because you don't want, drip marks will stay and you will be able to see them. So as you can see here on the outside, it has got, you can still see the orange through that a little bit there. And it has, yeah, sort of seeping through some of the brush mark strokes, you can see the orange through. So I will give this another coat. It'll probably need maybe 3 coats by the end of it, just to make sure that all that orange is gone. But we will see how we get on, and I'll join you back here with the finished product. Right then guys, so that's my pot completely finished now. So here is the finished product. As you can see, it's got a nice shiny coat on it already. We haven't yet done the gloss, so that will just add to the shine there as well. But that's a really nice colour, and it covers sort of the whole pot, and it looks really nice. Now that has had 3 coats in total, so it does take quite a bit. The terracotta obviously will soak up a certain amount of the paint. So that's the painting all finished. So this is now dry. It did take about 3 coats. It's taken me all day really to paint this and to get it all dry and then paint again and that sort of thing. But it only takes about 10 minutes each time to add a coat. So it's a really good little thing to do if you're doing multiple pots in one go, or if you're just having a day at home and you're pottering around the house and that sort of thing. It's a perfect little project to just sort of do, and although it does take a long time in the long run, the actual time that you need to spend on it throughout isn't that long at all. So the next thing to do now guys is go and give this a really good spray. So this does get everywhere when you do try and spray with this, so you need to make sure you're in a really nice ventilated space. I am actually going to take this outside with the camera and give it a really good spray over, but I'll bring you with me and we can do it together. Hey guys, so I'm hoping it's not going to be too noisy out here and you can hear me okay. So I've just got my spray here, just giving it a really good shake for a minute or so, just to really make sure it's ready. And then I'm just going to go around and spray a coat on it. I'm then just going to pop that down and then make sure I spray the inside as well. You want to make sure you get really full coverage on the whole thing. So I'm now just going to leave that to dry for a little while guys. It says that it's touch dried in about 20 minutes, so I'll see you in 20 minutes. Right then guys, so here we are with the complete finished product. So this has had 3 coats of the acrylic paint and 1 coat of the sealant over the top. Now that sealant has been coated all the way inside and on the outside here as well, and just a little bit on the bottom here to make sure that that doesn't sort of seep into any of the paint around the edge there. And as you can see, it's come out really well. It's got a really nice shine to it. You can't see any of the orange through at all, so 3 coats is definitely worth it. But yeah, it's got a really nice shine to it and I'm really happy with that. I am going to be potting up my neon pothos into this. I've recently bought a small one and it needs repotting, so I thought I might as well give this pot a try and pot it up into this one, and probably pop a little saucer underneath so that I can water it as well. But yeah, that's it for my video today guys. I hope this has given you a really good idea for gifts over Christmas. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give me a big thumbs up if you liked my video. Thank you!